Oh, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, stand to your feet and make noise for Gresh Unleashed!
Let's go! When the club go around here, I'm a cactus. Bang, bang, gang, I don't owe you jack. When I'm in the ring, it's just me and my best friends. OC cutting no slack. Hollywood Miz, you can put me on the A-list. Gresh Unleashed, better put it on your playlist. Me and my fam be ballin' like the Bruce. Fight night, baby, hard hitting like Sheamus. Family first, yes, bloodline business. Winning all the gold, look at how they witness. I was taught to be the greatest. 1,000 days I'm running, check out the book of Guinness. Coolin' with the baddies in the baddie section. Guarantee you they ain't jaded. Hero, you baby face, I ain't feeling your gimmick. The fans think it's overrated. Brock Lesnar on the beast. Eat, sleep, flex, and repeat. Whole new swag with a price on the tag. Coming live from the west to the east. Better recognize on the mouthpiece. See the power level gotta increase. Bringing content on a daily. Feeling like Gresh Unleashed.
Greetings and salutations, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, non-binary pals, baby mamas, baby daddies, and everybody in between. Welcome back to the Gresh Unleashed podcast. This is episode 46 of this illustrious podcast. And you already know the vibes that we are on. If you don't know me by now, you already know the name is in the podcast. But for those of you who are new to the game, new to yours truly, it is your boy, the voice that does the most, the purveyor of mischief, Gresh, Gresh, or you can simply call me Josh. You know, once we get to know each other, we family up in here, so you already know. But I prefer Gresh so we can get the semantics out of the way. But joining me as always is none other than my main man, my best friend, my boy, my partner in them, Mr. Hi-Lite Real. What's good with your partner?
What's going on, good people? You already know it's your boy Hi-Lites. Don't forget the real in the building. Gresh Unleashed. We live, baby. Week
We
number 2
live on a Tuesday.
on a Tuesday, going up on Tuesday. You feel me?
Man, it is a time. We brought the pod back last week. Most of you guys, I'm pretty sure the feedback I got was pretty good. So you guys are rocking with it. I appreciate y'all. This is gonna be a thing. Even when I'm on the road, we still gonna be live.
Come on,
hopefully I got good internet in the hotels that I'm in, but you know, we're gonna get to that in due time. If push come to shove, he'll be the producer and I'll be the guest. But you know, we're gonna still bring the vibes and all that good stuff. But Joe, speaking of vibes, this is the Gresh Unleashed podcast. Shout out to our Patreon backers over at patreon.com/Gresh Digital for you guys' continued support. I know I had the month off last month with the content because unfortunate events, as you saw at the top of the intro. Rest in peace, Mama Gresh. We love you always to life, and you will never be forgotten. But we appreciate you guys for continuing to support yours truly while I was away. But we are back and we are doing the doggone thing. And speaking of doing it, we got a lot to talk about. NXT, AEW, NWA fumbling the bag because NXT is moving to a new network in 2024, the same network that NWA reportedly was supposed to be on, but reportedly they are no longer a thing anymore because of a certain spot that they did like a dumbass. We won't talk about that. Yeah, exactly.
Stay off the weed.
Or in this case, stay off the coke. Like, boy, what are we doing here? Well, we're gonna talk about that and all that. And obviously, we're gonna talk about some football biz and some either or both of them. You know, it's a good time for you. If you are new around here, if you well established, whether you listen to this on Tuesday live or you listen to this on demand on Wednesday, we got you covered. Yours truly. We here to restore the feeling, as the tagline says. We are restoring the feeling here in the pod game as well in the world of sports and professional wrestling. But yo, before we get into today's show, Talking Ish Vibe, you know, the spinoff within the show where I get to chat with people. Talking Ish announcement. The first interview in the newly rebranded Talking Ish with yours truly, Joshua Gresham, is set to drop this Thursday morning. And it's one of the best ones I had the honor of conducting. And it's with rising star Jay Abu G, my main man, Jay Bougie. He is, whoa, you may have seen him on MLW Major League Wrestling as a part of the Boomai Yay Fight Club led by current MLW World Heavyweight Champion Alex Kane. This was a a long time in the making. My main man right here. The conversation we had is about a good solid 45 minutes of just us laughing and talking about life. He talked about fatherhood. He talked about basically separating himself from being a professional wrestler to a sports entertainer because all he knew was WWE. It is a good interview. Like you guys, I promise you, I don't put my name on a lot of stuff because I be paying attention to some people. But this right here, this man right here, you're gonna see an inside joke when I start plugging it. This man was almost died because he ate a Popeye's biscuit for some reason. And I'm like, bro, we joke about this. We don't joke about this to light us up. This man was about to die because he ate a Popeye's biscuit. But yo, it was a fun interview. It was like I said, it's about a good 45 minutes. We talk about his road to going from his journey, the importance of his partner Shayla to his character and his career, as well as basically his road to MLW. It's a great time. Make sure you guys check that out. Thursday morning, typically around 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you guys should definitely check that out if you basically need something to do on your commute to work or whatever the case may be. Great time. Talking Ish with yours truly is definitely coming back. And without further delay, speaking of Talking Ish, we might as well go ahead and transition. I might make that a smooth transition. I'm going to say transition.
It sounds very Jericho.
Next bit, and that is where we talk about football. And
come on, Gresh.
This is a week.
Yep.
I was.
Come on, it's okay.
Let me go ahead and put my 2 minutes up. Man. Listen. Hey, Sunday Night Football. We got a problem. Like, yo, Dolphins. What was that game? Seriously, what was that game? Do you know that? Did you watch the game?
Brother, as early as that game was, I forgot it was an early game. I was like, oh yeah, they were in Germany? Oops.
Man, for those of you who don't know, the Kansas City Chiefs bested the Miami Dolphins in Germany at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I got up. I was eating breakfast. I slid on into, like, I'm like, okay, cool. This is gonna be a good game. Y'all been cooking. Y'all been doing your thing. And then it's like, y'all got in Germany and just said, you know what? I'm gonna leave my good game in the States because what was that? Like, bro, when I saw the way the first quarter was defended, like Miami Dolphins defense just went on autopilot. Like that shit was trash. That shit was trash. Yeah. I already knew how this game was gonna go because the Miami defense practically let that man walk to the first point. Like that first point they got, they literally let him skip. They said, yeah, we're gonna let him skip. Like that. It was a skip. That bro was like skip. I'm like, what the fuck? and then their first offense play also set the tone, and they couldn't even push the ball past the Chiefs. Like, what was happening? All that cash talking shit that Andy Reid and Tyreek Hill did not go in their favor at all. Like, dog, I'm no ball player. Like, I don't play ball. I do not play ball at all. But you can't be out here talking like this and playing like that. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, what are we doing, bro? I get it.
What are we doing? And I couldn't even talk trash about the Falcons losing because I'm like, the way my team played this morning, I can't say that. And my time is up. But just play better next week. Just play better next week. That's all I got to say.
Play better next week. You heard me. Come on, Dolphins. Come on. I got you, dog. I got you. Hey.
Yeah, telling me with this shit, man.
I feel your pain, brother. I feel your pain.
Damn. All right, now it's your turn to talk some trash about football.
Let's talk a little trash. Okay, let's do it. Let's
start your time right now.
I hope y'all enjoyed my boy's rant because I feel him. But as soon as this timer starts, we're gonna get on into this thing for y'all.
Yeah, it's a little glitch. We're trying to get it it's acting brand new. Come on now.
Brand new. It's cool. We live, baby. That's the beauty of it.
All right, there we go.
Okay, so it's your boy Hi-Lite Real, man. Listen, the Tennessee Titans, unfortunately, we took an L on a Thursday, prime Thursday. I was a little hyped, but the good news is the Steelers just barely beat us. Unfortunately, my rookie quarterback threw a last-minute interception. I won't blame him for that because he is a rookie. But the fact is, the coach actually has some sense, and he announced Will Levis is our QB1 going forward for the rest of the season. The Titans fans was ready to riot. If he was going to say it was going to be Ryan Tannehill. I'm sorry, but a brother that throws 4 touchdowns on his first start versus a man that has been there the whole season up to this point and only thrown 2 touchdowns and 6 interceptions? Nah, you got to get rid of that. Sorry, Ryan Tannehill. Your season is getting ready to come to an end. Pack it up. Best luck being a backup for somebody else in the future. We thank you for your services. All right, Tennessee Titans, the future is bright. Now, I'm going to take this final minute to talk about another team that ain't even my team, but boy, it feels like they my team because I don't hate them, but I don't love them. Dallas Cowboys. Man, I don't know what to say because, Dak Prescott couldn't have played no better of a game than he did. CeeDee Lamb couldn't have played no better of a game than he did. The defense couldn't have played no better of a game than they did. You got it from both ends, and you still lost the game. How? Please tell me, Dallas. How? Philly was right there. You went backwards. You were at the goal line, my guy. At the end of the day, I'm here to encourage y'all in this last 20 seconds. If you are a Dallas Cowboy fan, I say this. Good news is you got one more game against Philly, and it's in Dallas. The bad news is, unfortunately, now all the major teams got blown out by San Fran. You now lost a close one to Philly. You lose any more this season, it's over. All right? Enough said.
And
I love it.
Like this is the purpose of this, so we can get our frustrations out. Like we can be animated. I appreciate you, Jeffrey Strogan, for sharing the Gresh Unleashed live stream. Appreciate you for sure.
Appreciate you, Jeff.
Yo, that was a fun segment. Like that's the purpose of this. Like we had to get our systems out, like get it out of our system.
Get it out.
Because these guys are annoying the hell out of me. But what isn't annoying, that is a smooth transition, is what we got going on next. And that is the either or Boffum segments, ladies and gentlemen. It is where we create a random or 2 random wrestling scenarios that we would have 90 seconds to choose and explain why it could or could not work. And if the person can't choose, their safe word or cop-out is to say simply Boffum. It's pretty simple.
All right. Well, y'all heard it, man. We got either or both of them. So in this case, man, I had a little bit of short time, didn't get a chance to prepare this as fully in detail, but this should still be fun based off the scenarios I got from my boy Gresh and myself. So I'm going to go ahead and start with this because I was actually watching this on YouTube. Shout out to the YouTuber that makes these story of scenarios where you can go back and look at fun storylines and kind of judge how that storyline was built. So, for the first one I got, in this scenario, if you could go back in time, we're going to get in our time machine, and you could play out and recreate, would you play out the storyline between WrestleMania 18's build-up between Ric Flair, the Nature Boy, and The Undertaker, where you are the middleman that The Undertaker is beating down? Not David Flair, not Arn Anderson. You're one of the culprits. You're one of the people that The Undertaker is hunting down randomly and beating down because he's trying to get that match with Ric Flair and get a yes out of him. Or, second scenario, would you recreate a personal This Is Your Life segment? And no, I'm not talking about the Bailey one. I'm talking about the OG good one, the one everybody remembers.
My life ain't really that interesting. So I feel like my This Is Your Life would probably be worse than Bailey. It's probably a little traumatic, but it probably would not be as interesting as like The Rock's or like anything like that. The ratings will probably go lower. So I might have to go ahead and get my ass whooped like by Undertaker in the build for WrestleMania 18. At least it's TV time, and at least people will remember me because people still talk about it.
Yeah.
We don't talk about Bailey. and heard This Is Your Life. We try to ignore that one, and we still talk about the Rock one. That was a big segment, but it's like if you compare it to how TV is now, it's probably going to be boring. So, especially in my life. So I'm like, I mean, it'll be interesting, but it won't be PG either. So let's stick to the ass whooping by Undertaker.
Okay. You know
Peak
what?
Undertaker. I ain't talking about the current Undertaker, because current Undertaker, all I gotta do is just step on his big toe and he'll just so
yeah, no, that was a different breed Taker, guys. I guess for me, I'm gonna go the other way. I guess you could say, given my life is pretty interesting to this point.
Your life will probably be just a big old mixtape.
Yeah. That's exactly what it feels like. Yeah. You know what? I guess a This Is Your Life segment would be interesting in the Rock's version, where I get to kind of make fun of people that decided to make fun of me for whatever reason in certain parts of time, and get good laughs and giggles out of people for sending them on back. Like, I mean, who wouldn't want to go back and tell their teacher to go know their role and shut their mouth, or go tell that chick that didn't let you go to first base to, poontang Nate on out of here. You know what I'm saying? Why wouldn't you want to do that? I know I would. I mean, hey, why not? You missed out. Look at me now, baby. Look where we at. So, not to say I'm a punk, because I'm definitely nobody's punk. If I'm gonna get whooped by Undertaker like my boy Gresh, it's TV time, and I'm gonna go out swinging. I'll be like, "You want to fight? Let's go, Taker. Let's go." If I get beat, I get beat. It is what it is. But I'm gonna go with This Is Your Life segment. Why not? You know what I mean?
Why not? Like, vice versa. So yeah, that's a fun little that's a fun little thing right there. But yeah, we'll definitely have more either or both of them next week. This is a nice little fun thing that we want to do as a nice transition to get you guys into the wrestling field, especially coming down off of the shit talking we just did on football. So we had to get that out of our system. So now we're about to go ahead. Might as well go ahead and switch into the news for this week, and might as well start off hot, because apparently, according to Variety, NXT is moving to the CW in October 2024 for a 5-year deal. Let me go ahead and pull up that article. All right. So according to Variety.com, WWE's weekly NXT show is heading to the CW network. I ain't heard that name in years, my boy. Like, in years. They're heading to the CW NXT, which serves as a showcase for WWE's developmental talent. Currently airs on USA Network, but will move to CW in October 2024 in a new 5-year deal. NXT will air weekly throughout the year on CW, marking the first time the show has aired on broadcast television since it launched its weekly format in 2012. Between the new leadership and ownership, the economics of the deal, and with their broadcast network now being in over 100 million homes, it became a no-brainer to move NXT, one of our signature weekly shows, to the CW, said Nick Khan, president of WWE. So what's your thoughts on this? NXT heading to the CW? Because, like I said, I ain't heard that name in years, since 2021 when I tapped out on the All-American. So
yeah, I mean, let's face it, that All-American, Flash, Arrow, Homecoming, if you cared about it.
Some people did. Like, I saw some people talking about it.
Yeah, some of these shows carried CW for as long as you can remember at this point. But I actually love this for them for a couple of reasons. First off, the graphic itself that they showed, the first graphic here. Shouts out to Kiana James, this elbow drop. I ain't a fan of the fact that they got Mello, of all people, getting clotheslined over here by Braun, but it is what it is. And Gigi Dolan over here kind of showcasing the fact that, yeah, tap that thigh when you want to make that nice impact sound on when you're kicking. So great job, graphic team, for showing that individual part, but I get it. I like this move really because a lot of people who don't remember this, or maybe didn't know this, SmackDown, its origin comes from this very network back when, there was once upon a time in the 90s where CW didn't exist because it was two separate networks, one by the name of UPN.
Shout out Ken. He said, don't forget Black Lightning.
Man, you got to remind me of Black Lightning, dog. Like, why, Ken? Why? I mean, I feel you because I was with it in the first season, and then they kind of lost me after that, dog. But
That's the
I saw Black
testament to
Lightning.
every CW show, my boy.
Well, yeah, fair point. Okay. I give you Black Lightning. You right. I give you Black Lightning. Forgive me, Jefferson. Forgive me. I'm sorry. I forgot. My bad. But uh but real talk, man. When you look at UPN and you look at WB and the fact that now they formed over the years and they've been in CW for as long as we can remember now, this is actually a good origin to build up for a place like NXT. You know, SmackDown was made famous. A lot of people may not, unless you're like me and Gresh, you may not remember a time when SmackDown was actually a special before it was an actual regular program
Oh
show. It
yeah,
was a special
it was
that you
special.
got once upon a time, every now and then. And then it became a regular thing on UPN. And look at what it did for that show and how iconic it made that brand. So what I love about this, if the CW does this right, and they promote this right, and they get eyes and ears on it right enough, NXT could be real major. And it gets to the point where they really do have to treat this like a legit third brand if they're not already doing that, as we can see.
They're kind of doing it now, but they're doing it with more so it's like it's not as forced. It's like
Right.
I mean, they had that one time where it was forced where they put John Cena, Undertaker, and all these people on here randomly on because AEW went to Tuesday. I'm just gonna be real, like, oh shit, let's just
we're
let's just go back and forth. And I'm like, as a fan, I'm not one of those diehards that be just losing their mind on social media. I'm like, go for it. I watched both shows, and both shows were fine for what they were.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. It's more so how they market it. Like, will they actually make it make sense? Like, will they actually make it like, okay, will they give it the full promotion? Because apparently, see, this how checked out I was on the CW. Apparently, they're rebranding for live sports. So they was going to either get it's like I believe they're doing some type of NFL inside the NFL type show, basically ESPN Light.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't watch, like, they literally canceled pretty much 95% of their shows. I think they only have like 3 shows, which is All American Homecoming, and Walker Texas Ranger. Like, as far as those, those are like the only 3 that I believe that are still left. Everything else has been canceled.
So it sounds like they pulled a Stars, because Stars darn near did the same exact thing.
Pretty much, because since they got bought out, like the previous ones got bought out, they pretty much canceled everything because it was pretty much losing money because nobody was watching it. And I can tell you a reason why nobody's watching it. Nobody want to sit through 22 episodes with like 50% of it being filler. So nobody was watching it. So apparently, of course you was gonna lose money. So they went the sports route, and that's gonna make them money because people like sports at the end of the day. So, but will it like last? Is my question, because you know how we get the new house feel. And then once we probably like 6 months, because it's a 5-year deal. So like that's my main question. Like, will it last? Or do you think it's gonna like fall off?
Honestly, yes, I think it can last. Again, it goes back to our main point of if the marketing is right. I think they did, Ken. They did move most of those shows to Netflix and Hulu. But I think it can last for this reason. Look at Fox Sports 1, right? The cool thing about competition, okay? While SmackDown's still with Fox, you know Fox is doing all that they can for the moment while they still have them, right? And they're sports heavy. Okay, you got ESPN, even though they don't have Monday Night Raw or anything like that. Imagine if ESPN had any wrestling program for that matter, whether it were Raw or whether it were MLW or Impact Wrestling, something that they could market. We know ESPN, we look at that as like the #1 sports show. Fox Sports, #2. So when we look in the wrestling sense, think about it as how we like, okay, ESPN's WWE. Okay, Fox Sports 1, AEW. The CW has a very chance. To me, I look at them like Impact Wrestling. They can be the Impact Wrestling, or should I say the TNA Wrestling, now that that's back. They can be the TNA Wrestling. Longevity, went through a bunch of different phases. had things that worked for them, but at the same time, kind of went through some lows where people checked out, like Gresh, and the faithful stayed as long as they could, even when it sucked. And now in this rebrand, they're excited because, okay, we got something that can pump us up here.
Right.
You still got some of the OG shows, as you mentioned, with the All Americans and all of that. Cool. You bring that audience in, but then you got your sports audience. If you can come up with some other cool shows, maybe if you decide to, if they're interesting enough, that might help build around that as well. But aside from that, I think this has a way of working. I don't know about the 5 years thing. That might have been a little lengthy, but I get the insurance policy behind it because if it works, you're
Cool.
locked in for a while. If it flops, you kind of stuck with it. And
that's the thing about the CW. They don't care if it flops. They're gonna push it until it's done. Because you saw the show, OG shows, like they gave Supernatural like 20 seasons.
that's true.
And it flopped. And it's for me, it stopped being interesting at like after like season 6.
Exactly.
Like
But
once they beat God, I'm like, what are we still going for?
fair point. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah. That I mean, hey man, when you I guess that's good for WWE. That's a win-win then in that case.
And it's
For
like, yeah, like you mentioned, like even though I tapped out talking about it on the pod, I was still watching. Like I've been watching this. Like I was having a conversation with Ken on Twitter. I basically been watching this since the game show days, 2010. So I literally watched, and the only part I missed was when they took it off of network television and put it exclusively to Florida Championship Wrestling, and they converted it to NXT. And I didn't really see those classic episodes until the network became a thing in 2014.
right.
So, but then I caught up on those because I wanted to get you to know your Bray Wyatt, your Roman Reigns, or the Shield, and all these other people that they created down there. So I'm like, oh, okay, cool. They got these classic episodes, and then I was through basically the later days of Dusty as the Dusty era, and then when it went full fledged Black and Gold era, and then when they finally could not get the hint when the pandemic hit, like, hey, let's try something different, but it just was just not working. And then I went through the acid trip, which was NXT 2.0, where everything was just happening and just
Shit.
punching you in the face left and right. I stuck through it. I didn't talk about it on the show, but I stuck through it. And now we are here. And I kept telling people, I'm like, it's an acid trip. Because people asking, like, is it worth their time? I'm like, it's an acid trip, but at least give it a try. Because I was hyping up your mellows, you're hyping up your tricks. I was hyping up your Braun Breakers. I was like, Braun Breaker, he's good, but there's something that he's missing. And apparently this heel turn that he's been on was the missing piece.
Yeah.
So I was hyping up, and I was like, yeah, they're focusing on the sexuality of the women's events because we was in the chokehold that was Mandy Rose as NXT Women's Champion. And it's like, but the people that was building around her was basically getting it. And then now they finally going full throttle with the new people because it's like, yeah, they have the established people like your Becky Lynch's and your Natalia's coming down there. So now you're getting the forefront like your Tiffany Stratton's, your Jakara Jackson's, the Last Legend Metaphor, all these other people that you probably wouldn't get if it was still the Black and Gold NXT. So I'm intrigued to see what they do with NXT on the CW. In my opinion, I feel like Shawn Michaels should go ahead and to restore the feeling. He should go ahead and get somebody like an Offset or a Cardi B to come and do a live performance, so we can get the niggatry back on the CW, so it can feel like the UPN one more time. You know what I'm talking about? Like they had the Jagged Edge wedding segment or 3-6 Mafia singing Mark Henry to the ring. So I want some of that. I want that back. Like bring that for the premiere so we can restore the feeling of the CW being for the niggas.
I'm with that. No, I'm with that. Yeah, let's get some. When they do this, let's make that grand premiere like real grand. You know what I'm saying? Like I need some mellow and trick endorsements with some of these celebs, like they was doing with Swerve and Rick Ross. Like let's get some
I need some endorsements.
Celebs.
Call Cardi B. I don't even care if you got to get her to make a PG version of whatever song current Meg Thee Stallion drop. Was it Bongos or something like that? Get a PG version of that.
Man. Is that even PG? Can that be done?
No.
No, I don't think the CW.
Just do the intro. Just do the intro. The instrumental. Just do that. Doom, 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 bungle, bungle, bungle.
Yo, Lord Jesus. Yeah. No, she better off doing Bodak Yellow something like that, man.
Or we have to go through what we did in 2021 with the Up.
Yeah.
When they sung that was the Summer Sam song.
Yeah.
When it's when it's I was so done with that song because they kept playing it.
They played it over and over.
But yeah, NXT moving to the CW. That should be. I'm excited because it's like that's the network that, like I said, I tapped out because of the original shows were like great, and then it just got mid because the writers just didn't know what to do past season 3. They're like, oh shit, I don't know how we got to this point. I don't know what we do now. So now it's like, and you said what?
I was gonna say I will say this last thought on that though. I really hate that this happens after the fact of when they peaked with those shows like Arrow, like Black Lightning and Flash.
Oh yeah, because that would have been a nice little crossover.
Yeah, because can you imagine, like at that time, like when Stephen Amell did show up, that was on a main roster. Imagine if NXT was in CW at that time and he would have did it in that aspect. Like all of that could have just gelled so well if it would have happened. But I mean, again, that's good for NXT. At least now they get the prime spotlight, and you can take the Mellows and the Bronze, make them the face of the brand, and take it off. So let's see what happens, man.
Oh yeah, most definitely. And speaking of what's not about to happen, let's talk about the person who fumbled it though. NWA.
Yeah, that picture just about sums up how they fumbled.
They fumbled the bag again. Like, you know how we used to always talk about LOL TNA? Now it's LOL NWA. Like, bro. Because for those of you who don't know, things were looking up for the NWA. As Billy Corgan had recently tied down the TV deal with the CW, bringing the NWA back to network television. However, an incident at the Samhain pay-per-view this past weekend, like it was literally like I believe last week or whatever. I don't watch this shit, so I don't know the exact dates. It has led to a deal potentially falling through. I believe I have footage. Hopefully I don't get booted. I doubt it because it's gonna be picture in picture, but it's basically it's stupid. Let me see if I can pull it up because it's something you legitimately have to see because it was so freaking like, bro. What was the reason? What exactly was the freaking reason? Like why?
Yeah.
Let's see if I can pull it up. Okay, I got it right here. Let me know if you can hear that or not. Can you hear that?
So far I see it. I just don't hear
you see it? You don't hear it? Okay, hold on one second. We're live, so we might as well go ahead and make the proper adjustments. For those of you who don't know, it was basically for those of you who are listening in okay, to share audio tab. Okay, tab. Okay, bet. Okay, for those of you who don't know the situation, it was pretty stupid. Okay, here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, joining us yet again, NWA Samhain's ambassador of Macabre,
they basically showed
Father James Mitchell.
Wow, they're really partying.
All these people.
Whoa, they are really partying. What? Well, they lost the match, but they seem to be having a pretty good time.
Yeah.
Whoa, what's going on? Oh, okay.
All right. Well, it's definitely pay-per-view, folks.
Wow.
Hey, I want to go up there.
Can't do that on YouTube.
Wow.
That was dumb.
Oh my freaking god.
Oh my god, man. Oh. So the segment show, like for those who, like I was saying, because for those of you who need to basically to reiterate what I'm talking about. It was a segment showing Father James Mitchell, the sinister minister, engaged in some not so family friendly activities, with him being shown to snort cocaine. handing out what was implied to be, like I said, cocaine to talent near him or whatever. This spot was pushed by Corgan through his this controversial bit has caught the attention for those who at CW because, like I said, they had a network deal. The network wasn't happy. And a report from House of Wrestling indicated that there is now a 90% chance that the NWA Power will no longer be appearing on CW television, which probably more likely won't be the case because NXT is just got the deal. Or if they don't get on network television, they will more than likely air exclusively on the CW app, kind of like what WoW Women of Wrestling do right now. So along with an NWA reality TV show, so they're not getting the complete boot, but they won't be prime time. And all because allegedly because we don't know the truth, like we're literally wrestling fans spectating, but because they decided to do that spot. What's your immediate thoughts on that? Because my thought is there's just some dumbasses. I know you got the mask on, so your face says your faceless says all that it needs to be said. They some idiots.
Yep. Ladies and gentlemen, I had to put on a luchador mask because of the fact that I am so embarrassed that this company did that. I have to hide my face, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't even watch it, so I don't got to hide my face. Fuck that.
I don't either, but it's still on behalf of wrestling in general. Wrestling. This universe, man. Look, dog. That's not cool, bro. That's not cool. Say no. Just say no.
Say no to cocaine. Say no.
We learned nothing from the great Whitney Houston, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing. Crack kills.
Crack is wet. Crack is wet.
Oh my gosh. Look, man. My heart goes out to everybody that I've ever, had the pleasure of having on the Life's About podcast that were from NWA. Of course, at the time when NWA was at its peak of popularity at the time, of course.
Oh yeah, because I was watching it when it was at the peak, yeah.
For sure. But some of those individuals I do believe, are still with the company, or at least somewhat have a foot in the company still. So for them, I'm just looking at it, like, hey man, get out of here. Man, okay. First chance you get,
stupid.
Go to TNA, go to AEW, go to WWE, go to MLW, wherever else you can go. Get out of there.
That was so fucking stupid. Just so stupid.
Dude. And that man, I don't ever want to see him in TNA Impact again. Father James Mitchell, don't you bring that crap to TNA. You hear me? Don't you bring that crap to TNA. You stay right there with that nonsense. I don't want to see you with Rosemary. I don't want to see you with Jessica. Don't bring that crap to TNA Wrestling.
Don't bring that shit on everything.
Don't you do that.
Don't come back, Cole. Like Kevin Hart's mom told his daddy, don't come back to stoop. Don't come back to second step. You are the James Mitchell. It's Father James Mitchell. It will now be the definition of a TNA stepdad. Don't come back to second step on the stoop. Don't come back. You can say hi. You can say hi to us. You can say whatever. You can pay your respects, but don't come past the second step.
Come back. Don't stay over there. Way over there. Like way over there, dog.
You can come back if you don't bring that. You can leave that.
Mm-hmm.
But don't. Who approved
I wish
that
you
segment?
would.
Who approved that segment though?
Corgan, that's who. What do you expect?
Dumb.
A rock star.
That is the dumbest. Hey man, if you find that entertaining, that's your entertainment. But from if you're trying to grow, you don't do in 2023, in the 70s or the 60s, maybe.
This ain't the 80s, my guy.
It's 2023, bro, my boy.
Yeah. No.
What are we doing here?
Nope.
Stupid, man. Stupid.
Dummy. Yeah. Pretty much.
All right, but we was talking about we got that out of our way. We're moving on from y'all. But let's talk a little bit about NXT that we just watched about an hour ago. What you think about? What you think about tonight's show?
Pretty.
It was headlined by the NXT Heritage Cup tournament. not tournament, match between Noam Dar and Akira Tozawa. You had Braun Breaker versus Von Wagner, and basically a glorified no DQ match because they had the referee's discretion. We heard from Lyra Valkyria. We had obviously that match. I got two graphics of it for some reason. And then we had two Iron Survivor Challenge qualifying matches. Tiffany Stratton versus, her name is slipping my brain. Valen Henley. There we go. And Tyler Bate versus Dijak. Two great matches, I should say. But what you think about this show from today?
Pretty solid. Good old fashioned wrestling, with some elements. I guess the main point to me, outside of the wrestling part, was how the show went off air. For sure.
So we'll definitely talk about that. But before we talk about that, we're gonna talk about the women a little bit.
Okay, for sure.
Xia Li got next. I guess she wants next. What's your thoughts on that?
I love it because I'm a big Xia Li proponent. I've loved her since her days in the Mae Young Classic. Now, interesting that she's going after this NXT title because she's been attacking Becky as well. So,
I'm guessing from what they're trying to tell, Xia Li wanted a shot at Becky when she was champion, but since she lost it, she's pissed that she lost it before she got her chance. So she's been attacking her. So now she wants to take the title. She wants that opportunity from Lyra, which more than likely she'll lose. And that'll drive her more crazy with Becky. She was like, you should have gave me that opportunity when you said I was going to get it. So that's what I'm assuming, but you probably have a different perspective of that.
I could see a perspective like that coming from it for sure. That would make sense if they decide to do that. Because again, I really don't like her being a proponent of being the first person. Because truth be told, I was more expecting Lola Vice to be, cause she had been already kind of tweeting and trolling, like, "Hi, Valkyria," and then of course, Cora Jade had a freaking in her stories earlier today, literally had where she pinned Lyra Valkyria, so it was like hinting, like, "Hey, champ, last time we met, I beat you."
What are they doing with Cora? I keep asking that every week.
I don't know. That's why I'm like, she's dropping hints. Lola Vice is here, whole contract winner and all. I'm like, shouldn't she be like, hey, what's up? I got a shot for you, but I don't know, dude. Like I said, Xia Li coming is kind of like out of left field for me with that. I would more so, but I guess that title makes sense because she can't come after Rhea when we just saw a whole battle royal for that. Can't go against EO because you're not even on that brand. So I guess NXT is the next best thing.
This is a nice little continuation though, like from what I just told you though. So I'm pretty sure that's probably what they're saying. Like they're like, okay, Xia wanted a shot on Raw because remember Becky was doing the whole open challenge thing, and then she lost the title before Xia could get her shot. So now she's pissed at Becky for losing the title. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's the reason why they're doing this with Xia going after Lyra.
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna put it. Shout out to my co-hostess Ash from Life's a Botch. I'm gonna put it the way she put it. Becky basically auditioned that very title as a way of saying, "Hey, we should have a mid-card women's championship," and this just proves that's exactly why you need one, because it puts someone stuck in the middle. Because that's their main. They don't give a shit
about the tag titles because the champs keep losing.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, see, my proponent was, I said, move those titles exclusively to NXT because they're the ones that have so many women. There's plenty of tag teams in NXT with women we haven't even seen debut yet that can grow into that natural tag team. You can just exclusively make that a whole NXT. And if you have a main roster tag team that may want to challenge, bring them down. Versus the other way around. Let those exclusively be there and just make a main mid-card title for, I guess it can go in between Raw and SmackDown, I guess.
Because ain't no point in putting one for Raw and one for SmackDown.
Exactly.
That'd be kind of that'd be defeating the purpose. That's kind of like it's like destroying, like people having time. Like
Right.
it could be tricky because that kind of makes them relax on the draft rules, the brand split or whatever.
Yeah.
So they would have to literally treat the mid card like they do the tag champs and just rotate.
Yeah, because I was gonna say we've like you said with the tag champs, we've seen it in the past. Because even before they split, remember the original brand split when the undisputed champion was able to go to both shows naturally, just like the tag champ. And then before they actually was like, okay, now we got to give our own brands their own title. At least try it out that way with like let them jump, because the divisions are big enough. You could just, hey, they're not doing anything right now. Let's let them challenge for the mid card title. Hopefully they do it. We'll see.
Yeah. So that's all it is. And all it is, and that's all it's going to be. And speaking of all it is and all it's going to be, might as well go ahead and talk about, is Melo innocent or guilty? Because they was building up to, is Carmelo Hayes friend or foe when it comes to who attacked Trick Williams and removed him from the #1 contendership match that happened last month. What was your thoughts on this segment?
Man, personally, I loved it. Honestly, these two, this is how you know this is a Shawn Michaels book situation, because this is Triple H and Shawn Michaels one-on-one. And the funny thing about these two to me is, Melo, you are one heck of a seller, my guy. You are really you're tricky one. You think you got everybody fooled here, and that Brian Pillman, or I'm sorry, Lex King situation was a nice little twist. I don't know who asked for that, but nice little twist to throw him in there.
I know I didn't ask.
Yeah, but exactly, you didn't, brother. But I look at it as maybe that's the pun, to try to divert the attention away from the two. But that final shot of them hugging and the look on Melo's eyes told me everything I needed to know. As meme worthy as this photo is, told me everything I needed to know. That you are definitely the culprit, brother. You did this.
That nigga's guilty. That nigga's guilty.
He gonna try to swerve us, pun intended. He gonna
Bang that nigga now.
But he did it. You guilty, my guy. There is no doubt.
I got the rope right here.
I'm excited to see how that reveal is when he finally does, because Lexus King is totally a pawn in this situation. It's very evident. He's used to try to divert it.
Because you notice the part Melo like perked up when he was like, I didn't even see who attacked me. All I heard was the doctors and your voice after. All I heard was the doctor's voice when they loaded me into an ambulance. So he's like, you didn't see who attacked you? And that's all he kept asking. And he was like, bro, why you keep asking the same question? Like, what we like? I'm like, bro, Trick. He's basically telling you without telling you he attacked you.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
That nigga's guilty.
He's guilty. And need I mind you, if we go back to the week of when the attack happened, earlier in that segment, if y'all remember, I'm just saying, you had freaking Dijak's instigating self and Corbin's instigating self, both literally telling you, hey, your boy just inserted himself into this match. Like, that's your boy. And I'm like, you instigating, man, look here, y'all. And I'm like, and then fast forward to what happened, and it was just like, see, you let these two white brothers get in your head, turn against your own brother, and now you're trying to lie about it weeks later.
Like, bro.
Justice for Trick. Yeah, right.
You the only one wearing that shirt? Boy. You the only one wearing that shirt.
I was like, I thought they was at least gonna carry that on for a while. Like, if you're gonna really play like it's Justice for Trick, you better get some other folks to wear this shirt. You better make a whole picket line of Justice for Trick.
Like, make a segment like, hey, Justice for Trick. Justice for Trick.
Something.
But nah, bro. But what is the small possibility that happens that it isn't him and they just decide to swerve us again? Like, would that be stupid, or would that actually like intrigue you?
If it's somebody like Lexus King, that would be kind of stupid.
Oh hell no! Like, if it's him, I'm turning that shit off.
Yeah, because I mean, I like where they're trying to go with dude. I just don't like it. And he again, when they literally say you have nothing to do with this, you have nothing to do with this. You weren't even in the company long enough
This
for
nigga
these
have,
folks to
listen,
know.
look here, listen. Lexus King, Brian Pillman Jr. does not interest me at all. You can put a fresh paint, a fresh coat of paint on his face. You can put that fake ass beard on his chin. He does not interest me at all. I can just,
Okay.
I look at him. I'm like, bro, you are not interesting. And if he interests you or anybody who's listening, kudos. It's just not me. I'm not moved. I'm planked. I'm a plank. I'm sitting still. Nothing. When he walked out, I didn't perk up like, oh, I was just like, bro, why are you here?
Yeah, I had to trust me. I thought about you the moment I saw him come out. I said, "Oh, Gresh is totally giving that look of just why are you?" I saw the look, and I was like, and that's why I'm like, okay.
Who is you?
I am not gonna go that deep as he is, y'all. I'm more so looking at it as I don't have enough opinion on homie to really say if I hate him or not.
Shout out what Ken said. Take it even further. Melo told Dragunov before his NXT title match that he wasn't nothing like Trick, and this was after Trick was basically saying that he can win against him. Oh, okay.
See,
and then Trick had some points. He was like,
yeah,
it's like when you won the title, it felt like I won the title. It felt like I did this, but it seemed like when I won the title or when I got attacked, you weren't there. I'm like, dang.
And Melo to say, "Oh, everything John Cena told you, I had been telling you." When
was this?
I don't remember that. When you were champ, I just remember Trick kind of being your hype man. I don't remember you ever telling him, "Hey, Trick, yeah, man, I got gold. Now you should go get some gold." Or, "Hey, dog, I don't remember you saying that not one time." But okay, smooth operator, dog. You over here trying
criminal.
Yeah, you a smooth criminal operator is what you is, my ninja. I see what you trying to do.
Just like we saw the smooth criminal discus lariat from that was making the rounds on Twitter. Melo trying to smooth his way up out of it. He's like, bro, you are gassing this man up, and he is believing it, bro. So that shot, that dick check or the lariat or however they decide to have him turn on him is going to be brutal.
Yeah, man. That's why I'm just like this Lexus King thing, man.
Trick, you gonna get your ass whooped by a man with fake baby hair. Damn.
Please don't. Dragunov, I think, is gonna be the person that reveals who really did this, and that's when Melo.
Once he gets through with Baron Corbin, I'm pretty sure that Baron Corbin is gonna be like it's gonna go into the final pay-per-view, the Iron Survivor Challenge. He's gonna defend. He's gonna beat Corbin, and then he's gonna probably reveal Melo as the.
You can tell since their match together, he's grown fond of Trick, and he's really literally respected him deeper than he even respects Melo, which is wild because they've had 3 wars versus the one that he had with Trick, and yet for some reason, man, that one war with Trick is enough to
earn respect.
Yeah. So the thing about it is, it speaks volumes, and it just shows. I feel like he's really going to reveal. He's going to be that person to be like, I found footage as the champion, and this is who attacked you. Right there, and then you get that clothesline you mentioned. Yeah, that's as soon as it gets revealed, True Color show, pow.
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
And for people who want to, who you got those people. For those like, oh, predictable is good. The reason why a lot of TV shows fail, like I'm finna pull a rabbit out of the hat. The reason why a show like Pretty Little Liars failed, because my sister tried to get me into that show. The reason why it failed is because the writers and the creators tried to outsmart the audience instead of riding the wave. Like, okay, we figured it out. Reveal that who it is. Oh no, this is another twist. Here's another twist. Once you do so many twists, you twist yourself into a ball and shit makes no sense no more. So
yeah,
That's why it's like it's cool that this is predictable. That it be Mello, because it's clear as day. We have eyes, and it's like they're obviously dragging it out because they have TV to fill. So it's like, and I'm intrigued. I'm like, yo, this is good because I'm a fan of both, and I'm ready for both to show up and show out. And let's be real, it's wrestling. They're going to eventually make up.
Yeah.
Shawn Michaels and Triple H made up after Triple H shoved that man's head through a TV through a windshield or a car window.
Mm-hmm.
They'll be fine. They'll be fine. But this is interesting. And our verdict is Mello is guilty. That nigga guilty. Speaking of guilty, I guess you could say guilty pleasure of sort of finding out what's going on behind the scenes, because apparently according to the rumor mills, according to the streets, as Black Wrestling Twitter likes to say, Julia is WWE bound. I don't know if you know who Julia is. I probably have to pull up a picture from Stardom, New Japan Pro Wrestling. She made an appearance in Impact Wrestling.
Yes, I've seen her. I have seen her.
Like, what's
I
your
haven't
thoughts
really
on?
had a chance to follow her work much, but I've seen her images.
I've seen like 2 matches of hers. I wanted to like get your like is that something like another woman from Stardom? Is that something she's I believe she, according to good old Wikipedia,
mm-hmm.
Julia is an English-born Italian Japanese professional wrestler, and she's currently signed to the World of Stardom. She is the current IWGP Strong Women's Champion, as well as I believe she's a International Ribbon Tag Team Champion. As far as with Ice Ribbon, and as far as with Stardom, I'm just going off of her accomplishments so people can know. Like, she has a lot of accolades. Artist of Stardom Championship 2 times. She's the current, alongside with Mike. I don't want to butcher these names at all, so we're gonna just say 2-time champion. And she's a Goddess of Stardom champion, Wonder of Stardom champion, World of Stardom champion, and Cinderella tournament winner. So it's a lot of accomplishments with it for those of you who follow Stardom. But I had a privilege of seeing like a couple of clips, because shout out to Hang 'em High on Twitter. He basically watched and then pretty much tweeted his reaction. She's hard. She hits hard. She's stiff as hell.
My kind of style. That's what I'm talking about. And she fine too. Hey, that man, look, bro. That right there, that's my favorite combination, baby.
You can hit hard and you fine.
Oh yeah, man. Look,
why you think we into Lola Vice?
Yeah, well, yeah, fair point. Very fair point. Yeah, no, seriously, I like the stiff style, man.
Man, she's stiff. Like, when I tell you,
it gives more of a legitimate
match with the recently returned Kyrie. They had a match at a Stardom show, and Kyrie hit her so hard that you heard the echo in her face, and instead of crumbling, she said, and she turned around and just punched the shit. I was like, damn.
Yeah, man. That style gives such a legitimacy to wrestling, because to all you not our live peoples, y'all know what's up. But I'm talking about the ones out there that be like, man, that fake joint, and I'll be like, all right,
bro. I'm gonna send you for the next person I say. I'm gonna send you a clip of her literally kicking somebody's liver, and see if you say that F word.
Yeah. Oh yeah, bro. That's why I'm like, between technical, because the technical side of being able to lock somebody up in a hold and you ain't getting out that mug, and the stiffness of a strong style type, man, look, you put a combination like that is enough to tell you how legitimate wrestling is, bro. Just saying. So like, yeah, man, if she's coming to WWE, well, watch out to anyone. Well, Tiffany, I know, can take it. She's shown her toughness. But to any of them other women, if y'all ain't,
if y'all not into the strong style, just that's all I'm gonna say. Is just
it's gonna be a long work night for you. Let's just put it that way.
And if she do go to WWE, they're probably gonna have her tone it down a little bit, because you don't want them to, you don't want her out there breaking everybody's jaw.
I don't know now. I don't know, because Ali is one of them stiff ones too. And hey man, Just saying, dog.
Yeah.
I ain't see Candice LeRae in that battle royal. So
Oh yeah, she got knocked.
She must have really got knocked out.
You got it.
And not to mention, there's a guy named RVD, man. That dude went a whole career WWE playing stiff.
Oh yeah, I remember a lot of people complaining about it.
Gunther's as stiff as it come too. Sheamus. It's like, trust me, they know. They know. So
but you know they're a little different with the women. So that's what I'm saying. That's why Asuka had to kind of relax a little bit. And I'm pretty sure Zaya got toned out because I think she knocked out Mercedes Martinez back in NXT.
She
so
straight slept her. I said, "Ew."
He said, "Get out of my." Ken said, "Get out of my head, girls." I was about to type what you said. Hey man, we great minds think alike. Come on, man.
Ken, you the man, dog.
You the man, my boy. Like this ain't great minds think alike. So that's all I'm saying. Like, yo, like it's stuff like that. Like, I'm excited to see what she do in WWE, if that is the truth. Like, that's the rumor mills. Like we entertain the rumor mills, but we don't like take it as gospel. Like, will it be cool if she's there? Cool. If she's not,
honestly, if she's not, I would say go to TNA because they will let her let loose on that style. Jordan Grace,
for sure.
Deonna Purrazzo, like there's so many women that can match that style there that that'll work.
I think because that one of the pictures I showed, she was at the multiverse. I believe.
Yeah, those are good shows. Those are good shows.
So that's what I'm saying. I peeped it, so that's why I'm like I showed that's why that was one of the matches I saw of her. Like I don't really watch Stardom. I don't really have the time to. I encourage people who want to like check it out because from friends in the community or people who are like dedicated to it, they love it. Like I will literally quote or retweet what they say because they be passionate about it, and that's what I recommend. Like I will push you that way. Like I'm not these type of cats out here who will try to talk trash about it. Like, if that's your thing and you want to know, like, see more predominant women's wrestling, check out your Stardoms, check out all these other independent wrestling companies that focus on women's wrestling. And I mean legit legit independent companies. I ain't talking about the ones who will scam you out of your money like a certain other company that they should not be named. So yeah, I'm interested in see Julia in WWE. If she's not, hey, TNA's your thing, or TNA's your thing. I'm about to say AEW, but Tony Khan don't know what the fuck to do with women. So TNA's your thing, or go to DPW. Shout out Deadlock Pro Wrestling. So that's what I'm saying, like stuff like that. So I'm interested. I guess we could talk a little bit about Raw. We might as well start off with the Fatal 4-Way match. The Miz won the Fatal 4-Way match to become the number 1 contender for Gunther's Intercontinental Championship at Survivor Series. What's your thought? Did you peep this match?
I did.
What's your thoughts on this one?
Cool.
Because that ending felt kind of weird.
Yeah, it was. Well, I actually liked that ending because it was different, but at the same time, it was just hilarious because I'm like, I see what y'all tried to do, but bro, we can see from the camera angle, the referee literally looked both ways, and it was very evident Ricochet kicked out. So it was like, what was the point of this? But I like the double count thing. You probably could have just did that better with 2 referees for some odd reason if you wanted to try that route. But nah, man. I can't say I'm surprised. I think we kind of expected Miz to win this based off what happened the week prior on Miz TV. But yeah, props and hand claps to all 4 men in that match because it was a nice little solid banger. I thought, man. Different styles.
Yeah, I enjoyed it too. Like you had meat being slapped, pause, with Bronson Reed and Ivar. Ivar's been killing it since Eric went down with an injury. I believe he had neck infusion surgery.
Yeah.
So sending well wishes to him. And the Miz basically was sports entertaining, and Ricochet was just bumping his butt off. Like that was a nice mesh of styles, like you said. So I enjoyed it for what it was. Well, am I intrigued to see Gunther versus The Miz at Survivor Series? Yes and no. It's more so like I'm in the middle.
Yeah.
like I'm sort of in the middle. It's like yes, because I know like ever since winning that title, Gunther has not missed in ring at all. Like I can name you probably 10 Gunther matches that I enjoyed off the top of my head if I wanted to. Don't want to, but if I wanted to. So that's what I'm saying. Like that's how good it is. And then the Miz, like I understand people, it's cool to hate the Miz, but I'm not gonna sit on here and act like when they tell him to go, he goes. Like I'm not finna bust a with him about his like in-ring style, but I'm just gonna be like, yo, he's good. Like 2016, when he was like the Miz, like when him and Dolph Ziggler, he was good. When he had the babyface run with Shane McMahon, he was good for the most part. Then they kind of dragged the story on and it got convoluted, and I just didn't care anymore. So it's like he can go. So people, and then I make a joke. I'm like, people forget that the Miz is OP as a babyface. That man is overpowered. He has all the moves. He has the tornado DDTs, the cross bodies, the topes, and all that stuff. So it's like people don't really give him credit, and it's like you're not going to get it. So it's no point in pushing for people to give him credit. I'm gonna give him credit because when he's entertaining, and when it's bad, I'll tell you if it's bad. And it's more so the material that they give him as opposed to how he is. And speaking of material, the Creed brothers are officially on the Monday Night Raw roster. They've officially been called up. What's your thoughts on this addition to the Raw tag team division?
Love it. Capital Loveit. I love where the tag division is headed. DIY, Imperium, Creed Brothers, LWO. I'm naming all brands at this point. The Street Profits. I mean, the Usos when they inevitably, eventually form back together. The New Day. I mean, bruh, like Alpha Academy. I mean, dude.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? Like the list goes on. Like I don't know why you wouldn't be excited. I'm a big proponent of tag team wrestling. I've always enjoyed great tag team wrestling and great tag teams. And to see where this is headed, especially with this tag team, Creed Brothers are definitely a future undisputed tag
And they brought up Ivy now too. Like I thought, because in the past they usually split. Like if there's a woman involved, they're like, well, let's just get the tag team and get such good shit. So and then it gave her a nice little spotlight during the battle royal. We'll talk about that in just a second. So it's like I'm intrigued. Like I'm excited. Like people who watched them in NXT knows what they can bring to the table. It's not that perfect like technical style. They fight like their life depends on it, and it's that amateur style that I feel like a lot of wrestling is missing nowadays because everything is so choreographed in certain aspects. So it's good to see that like rugged, rough style coming back to the main roster.
Let me just say it like this. Kirk Angel would be proud right now as an All-American American. Why? Because tag teams like Alpha Academy and the Creed Brothers fit him to a T.
Oh yeah.
And if there was any time to bring that man back for any type of management role, one of them two tag teams would be it. One of them. Take your pick.
If his body can hold up to it, because I know he kind of slowly but surely breaking down. So if he can pick, if it was, I won't use that joke that he doesn't like, but if it was prime Kurt Angle, maybe. But after yeah.
Fair point. That's fair. True that. We want you to, be healthy and alive, obviously, Kurt. So if it's the week to week thing, something you can't physically handle these days in a management role. Fair point. But his spirit at least lives through these two tag teams. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
Like that's a beautiful thing to see. So much love.
Oh yeah, most definitely. And speaking of handling and being a sight to see, Zoe Stark is officially the #1 contender for the Women's World Championship. She will face Rhea Ripley for the Women's World title at Survivor Series. What's your thoughts on this match happening, basically?
I like this move. It's pretty cool. I would love to see these two in a one-on-one scenario. The multi-man match, she earned this actually, just being the MVP of that multi-man match, multi-woman match at Crown Jewel. This to me, I feel like was a rewarding factor from that. Like, yo, you helped carry in that match, and now we're gonna reward you with championship match. Obviously, we know she won't win it, unfortunately, but I will feel like this is the ultimate showcase for her to put even more eyes on her because she's slowly just been catapulted anyway. From the Trish stuff to what you got here with Shayna Baszler and their little mini feud to, what you got at the Crown Jewel multi woman match. Now this will catapult her even more. And even in a losing effort, if they do this right, which I feel they will, they're gonna just be like, okay, her time's inevitably coming. Kind of like Liv Morgan. She just shared a flashback of when she wrestled Becky Lynch for the championship, and it was her first championship match.
That was
And
day
I
one, right?
couldn't help but comment and say, I'm so proud of you, and look how far you came from that very match because you ended up winning the tag team championships, the women's championships. So you've accomplished so much since then. So Zoe Stark is definitely on that trending same. Like if we had to pick when we get to our season's ending awards, let's just say she's trending in a
Like a
most
breakout.
improved kind of category or something like that, or a spotlight as in you're up next kind of thing. But I'm not gonna lie, the way that match went, I almost slick thought they were gonna give it to Ivy now on the slick at first.
Or Shayna.
Yeah, Shayna too. She'll get her. She'll get her opportunity probably up next. Guarantee she'll be like Royal Rumble territory. Maybe I feel like she probably won't be in the Royal Rumble. She'll probably be the one wrestling for the title at Royal Rumble.
Gotcha. Okay. And then it's like I obviously had my genuine reaction, which was like interesting. Like I'm not kind of like with what I said previously. It's like I'm lukewarm. Like I'm interested, because a lot of people was like, why did you say interested? Like, is that a good thing or a bad thing? I'm like, it's a good thing, but it's like I need more. I need them to sell me on this match. They have less than 2 weeks to sell me on this match on why I should like at least feel something with Zoe. And maybe they will, maybe they won't. The beauty behind wrestling is like it's so subjective that where if they don't sell me on it, I'm not going to discredit the talent in this match that is going to be a good match, because Zoe has proved more time and time again she can hold it. She can hold her own. So I'm not really going to just dismiss it because this is a match that is predictable that Rhea's gonna win, and I know hopefully they're not going to squash her either. So
Right.
give her something. Rhea's sold the hell out of her finish at Crown Jewel that made me like almost think that she won. So that's probably the angle that they're going to go with. So hopefully this is a good showing for Zoe, and let the world know that she's up next. Speaking of next, the men's War Games match has officially been made official. After Seth Rollins and Sami Zayn faced off for the World's Heavyweight Championship, Judgment Day ran out and practically all hell broke loose. Then we got it was so like intense, because for me it's like after months of rematches involving the Judgment Day versus randomized babyface or solo acts and tandems and all that stuff, Adam Pearce practically unleashed his inner pastor scrap daddy to announce War Games. That man became a youth pastor from the South, Douglas County, Georgia, to be exact, when he announced the official match for War Games. Because he was like, you want to play games? You want to play games? We will play in Chicago at Survivor Series in War Games. Like, people don't understand. This man literally went full. When you decrease saturation in Final Cut Pro TD Jakes on everybody, that man went full. You want to play games? You want to play games? Then let's play War Game. Just makes you want to break out and shout like, "Hiya!"
Yeah.
Like, bro, did you see? You saw the clip, right?
Oh, I saw it, and man, you got me on that one because I was going full '90s bad guy villain. Ladies and gentlemen, play some shout music as my boy Gresh breaks out in the shout. Break out in the shout, ladies and gentlemen. Hallelujah. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you.
Thank you.
Lord, Lord, Lord. What you gonna get on Gresh Unleashed Pie? Yeah. Come on now. Come on. Come on, Lord. Jesus.
That's what I'm saying. Like the way he did it, like he was growling. All he was missing was the deep breaths to trying to catch their breath, sound like they finna have an asthma attack. That's all he was
Oh
missing.
man. Come on now. Boy.
but what you think about this year's War Games, especially compared to last year? Like, are you finally ready for this feud to be over with, like yours truly, or is like, because I feel like this is what they've been building to for the past.
Sadly, only because they just need something for Cody and friends to do. You know, unfortunately, while we're on these side quests waiting for Cody's story to finally end, side quest for Jey Uso to finally get to his brother Jimmy. And in the case of Sammy and Seth, there's no telling what side quest these two are on at the moment. Maybe they're on a side quest to their inevitable rematch or something. Who knows? And the Judgment Day, well, they got side quests of their own. Damien, we're gonna figure out what's gonna happen with that briefcase, buddy. JD, the unofficial honorary member or whatever
Big
the heck,
ass head.
lackey. Yeah, we'll get to that. Finn's just Finn. I don't even know what your side quest is, brother. It's just you there. And Dom is just whatever mommy thinks, brother. So it's kind of like at this point, yeah. Not as amped as probably the bloodline versus, the anti bloodline
The Brawling
establishment.
Brutes and Kevin.
Yeah, the anti establishment that hated the bloodline, and just tried to take them down. Um, I don't know, man. This should be, I guess, interesting for sure. Um, hey, I know they're gonna tear the house down. That much I can say. So we'll see how it plays out, man.
Oh yeah, for sure. So yeah, I'm interested in that, and hopefully it's just because I already know it's gonna get. I'm also interested. Like, are they gonna do a women's war game? Like, is that gonna be the SmackDown side?
Yeah, I heard something about they're trying to do like an exclusive thing with some of these. So I think they're trying to. I can't quote the direct source, but what I understand is that I think they're trying to make the War Games an exclusive brand only kind of situation. So I think Raw
Yes, the
is the
men.
exclusive War Games thing, which means SmackDown may do the traditional situation, maybe.
Yeah,
Possibly.
hopefully that's just a rumor and just get because I feel like the women on SmackDown deserve war game. Got Io, Io, I won't say Oscar, Io, Kyrie, maybe Bailey and Dakota, or Bailey and Oscar versus Charlotte, Shotzi, and two other people, maybe.
Mm,
Maybe. I don't know. But that's
yeah.
intriguing. Like, the men's war game is official. I'm intrigued with what they're gonna do with the women. Speaking of what they're gonna do, who would you like to see face Logan Paul for the United States Championship? You know, we have a new United States champion in the Maverick, Logan Paul. Like, who do you think should face Logan Paul, like based off of the current landscape of SmackDown?
Like right now.
Like no, within the next probably until WrestleMania, because we already know he's holding that title to Mania.
Yeah, because for Mania, I got him going against Ricochet. I don't know how they're gonna do it. Don't
Two
know
different
when.
brands.
They're gonna find a way to finish that story. Believe that. They still telling that one. But in between time, let me think of SmackDowns. I mean, if it ain't Ricochet to do it, a lot of people are saying LA Knight.
I can see that.
So a
Do you
lot of
think
people are
that if they
campaigning for
do
that.
that, you mentioned LA Knight, do you think that's a downgrade for LA
No,
Knight
I
because he
don't.
went from the Universal title to the US title?
No, not completely. For the reasons of what can you do right now? I mean, because given the brand you're on, you can't beat Roman right now, right?
Right.
And shout out. I'm not gonna take full credit to this. I'm gonna shout out my boy Sid from True Hill Heat, but it's kind of like how he's pointed out. If you've noticed, lately, anyone who has fought Roman and lost babyface wise has gotten a consolation prize of either the tag team championships. Well, actually, mostly it's been the tag team championships. So in LA Knight's case, that is kind of an upgrade because you could either have the tag team championships with a rando, or you can beat Logan Paul for this title, elevate it, be popular. You know his saying, he doesn't stop. So obviously, he can still get in the main title picture because he'll be like, this is cool. And then when he does lose it, he ain't going to stop. He going to chase gold.
Right.
Find a way to that main goal, whether it's the universal title or whether it's the undisputed title or whether it's big gold if he's on that brand at some point.
So that would lead me to the next question before we move on. Why didn't they why didn't they start here? Like, why didn't he beat Austin Theory for the title and then work his way up?
I agree. I think that was kind of backwards. Honestly, if they could go back, I would have had him win that multi-man match. What was that, like a fatal 4-way, I believe it was, and he should have just won the title from Theory. And like you said, it would have just continued to elevate it to where then, if he would have lost it to a Logan Paul, he could have been the one.
Yeah, because it's funny how you say that, because that's a nice transition to like what's next for LA Knight following the loss to Roman Reigns at Crown Jewel. He can go the route of facing Logan Paul, because I agree with you. Basically, hey, he should face, if anybody should beat Logan Paul for him, it should be him. But it leaves that question, like you said, like you was in the process. I didn't want to cut you off, but basically, like, that's a downgrade in my opinion, because I'm like, he could have rode the wave of him being U.S. champion and then have us clamoring for that inevitable match with Roman. Like, it could have been the summer of LA Knight. Like, I get what they was doing with LWO, but let's be real, it wasn't intriguing 100% as LA Knight was. So I would say they should have had him beat Theory for the U.S. title, and then just continue to ride that wave until we got the Crown Jewel, and it wouldn't feel as backwards as it does now. Because say he does win the U.S. title from a Logan Paul, it's like, okay, is he going to ride that wave now and then go back up? It's just the little stuff like that that I have like question. Let me know if you think I'm thinking too much into it.
No, I mean, I can understand it. I never really look at too hard into what's a downgrade, because a championship, he never really said what gold. He said, I'm chasing gold, right? And he did say it in that promo. It doesn't matter if it's, Seth Rollins, Rey Mysterio, Gunther, Roman Reigns, right? Yep. They just made a big deal out of the Roman Reigns one because they saved that for last. As, look what he said for last, Roman Reigns, right? So that WWE chose to do that, but they easily could have had him, get that U.S. title. So, I mean, the thing about it is, we just have to wait and see, but I don't think his momentum will die down one bit. LA Knight.
No, I feel like anybody who says that is overreacting.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, LA Knight's that charismatic where he will be all right. That he is forever now in the top echelon of like top spots. You see what I'm saying? Regardless. And, again, I'm going to take this from my boy Sid of True Hill Heat. Shout out to any of y'all that may know about True Hill Heat. It's kind of like they were saying, when you bring up the CM Punk stuff and how everybody was talking about CM Punk trying to possibly come back to WWE, it's like, why would they need him right now when they have so many people
that
in
are
that
popular?
top spot? You got the Judgment Day. You got Cody. You got LA Knight. You got the Bloodline. You got John Cena, who was back. You get, you know what I'm saying? Like, the list goes on and on. There are so many contenders in line, not even counting the people who are hurt currently.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And Brock Lesnar, who's just chilling still. So you got all these top people that you can plug and play. And believe you me, LA Knight will be all right. Because no matter where he's at, it's guaranteed. He's already proven it week to week. He gets that reaction. He gets that interaction. and he's a star, point blank. So no matter what title you put around his waist, believe me, that title will be elevated off his charisma alone. So he gonna be good, y'all. He gonna be good.
Oh yeah, for sure. And speaking of elevation and star power, we talked about this briefly. I don't know if it was on the show or after the show. Jimmy Uso versus Jey Uso. How would WWE get us back to that? Because if we remember the whole breakup and all the stuff during the summer, and then they just put them on two separate shows, like how do you see them getting us back to the brother versus brother leading into WrestleMania?
Unfortunately, the only thing that comes to mind right now is Royal Rumble. Somehow these two are either going to, dare I say, start the Royal Rumble together
Mm-hmm.
as a 1 and 2 kind of situation, or one of them is like, I could see maybe Jey Uso coming in as the number 1 pick in the Royal Rumble. Like he comes in at number 1 and he lasts probably through midway of that Royal Rumble, and then all of a sudden here comes his brother. And dare I say, his brother gets eliminated since they've booked him more as a goofball. He tries to act like he ain't eliminated, pulls an X-Pac in 2000 with Kane, and dare I say, finds a way to sneak himself on in there and eliminate Jay.
Because
And
he cost them the tag team titles.
yeah,
Because it's canon now. Jey Uso has more tag team title reigns than Jimmy.
yeah. And I just see something where it's gonna revolve around Royal Rumble. It looks like, because that's the only other show. Because obviously we see Jay's tied up in War Games. That's a fact. So Survivor Series ain't it, which means the only other big 4 pay-per-view leaves Royal Rumble. Road to WrestleMania, perfect way to catapult it, and then you can build the story somehow
And have
from
them
there.
kick
So
off night 1. I mean, or whatever night, because I know that was a question on social media, like should this main event night 2 and then Roman versus Cody main event night whatever. Whatever night Roman main events, the Usos should kick off because it all ties together. It should be one story. Like I feel like this is not a big enough match to main event its own show, in my
yeah.
opinion.
If they did that, it's as a salute to service to the two of them just for what they've done together.
Yeah, if they do it, I'm not against it, but I feel like it should tie into Roman's final hurrah.
Agreed.
So it's like if they were to go into 40 and Roman loses the title there, what better way to have them kick off the show and then have them tie into the outcome, or in this case, choosing not to tie into the outcome this year into WrestleMania, and then that way we finally get a clean Roman Reigns match. And we can move on from that. But yeah, Jimmy Uso versus Jey Uso, I just feel, I like your idea the most. Like you use it as a way to basically, the Royal Rumble is a perfect scenario because you don't have to worry about the limitations of the brand dedication, none of that stuff. They literally Royal Rumble match, they interact, and you have Jay basically beg and plead with general managers to give him his brother.
Pretty much. Yeah.
And then that leads to WrestleMania. And then you have Solo involved because Solo, he don't mind thumbing his brother. So
pause.
So it's like stuff like that. So I'm intrigued. Like hopefully we can get back to that at some point, because like you said I believe you said it on the post show. I have to listen back to it. But that's literally they've both been side characters. It's about that time, especially Royal Rumble time, to get them back to the main focus, especially with Jay as the big baby face and Jimmy as the goofy but cunning, jealous heel, because every time Jay gets popular, Jimmy wants to come in and kick it away.
Yeah, it's funny how he turns that on and off, because he gets real goofy most times. Like he's hilarious as this heel. I mean, props to him and making this work for him as a funny heel, but at the same time still showing you that he's serious at times, because he just all of a sudden does things and you're like, oh, that's right, we're supposed to hate you. As hilarious as you are, we're also supposed to hate you. So yeah, man, I'm intrigued, and I hope, like I said, Royal Rumble seems to be the only one. I don't see any, because the only other thing if it's not Royal Rumble, bro, is maybe Elimination Chamber. Like Jey Uso has a chance at a championship, World Heavyweight Championship, dare I say, and somehow Jimmy finds a way to get himself in there and yet again cost Jey Uso a championship, and that catapults the anger. But it's got to be between Royal Rumble and Elimination Chamber. Like,
For
if
sure.
it ain't one of them two, what are we doing here?
Right.
You know what I mean?
What was the purpose of breaking them off without doing the tag team? So,
especially in this tag division on fire. I mean, it's begging the Usos to be back together. So I get it. They're living up a dream. Let's hurry up and do what they want to do, and then get the boys back together so they
get
can
back to
cook
business
with some of these tag teams. Point blank.
Point blank. But I'm intrigued, nevertheless.
So,
let's talk a little bit about AEW before we get to our interactive segment and get up out of here.
Okay.
Let's see what they got going on in the world of All Elite Wrestling. This week in Dynamite, I believe they have Red Velvet versus Julia Hart.
Thank freaking God. Listen. No. Let me get this off my chest because we've been doing this all show. So listen, people.
Let's do it.
If you follow the Life's a Botch podcast, if you haven't, go check out the last episode. We just dropped it. You will see where I literally said this, and it ain't even just the last episode. I've said this previous episodes too. I said, but emphasized it. Where is Red Velvet, people? Where? Because since Jade and the Baddies, we have not seen this woman anywhere. Not Ring of Honor, not Dynamite, not Dark, not Rampage, nothing.
Well, Dark is dead.
You did her dirty during Hispanic Month, by the way. Didn't even put the woman on the flyer.
She's Hispanic?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
I don't know people. I don't know these niggas. I don't know none of these niggas. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, she is Dominican, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, okay. I'm about to say,
so that's what I'm saying. It's like, bruh, it's really just annoying because I'm like, Red Velvet is incredibly talented in the ring, and on top of that, you're looking at this women's division right now that's already flustered. Her and Chris Stat should be cooking because they have hella chemistry together. I don't know how they haven't had a program yet. And I'm just sitting here, I'm like, where's Red Velvet? Where's Red Velvet? Is she hurt? Is her contract up? Where is this woman? What are y'all doing with it? And see this, now what pisses me off is that you want to put her up against Julia Hart. Because now I know where that's going to go. Now I know how that's going to go. And unless Sky Blue or Willow Nightingale get involved somehow, I don't see this resulting in a win. So you keep her off TV for this long to bring her on to lose. That's what you're trying to tell me. Okay. Well, please, somebody. I'm glad she's still alive because I literally said put out an APB for this woman, y'all. I said it on the show. I promise you, in some serious passion. I'm only not doing this because it's late at night and I'm trying not to yell in my own room and wake people up. But I'm telling y'all, it's good to know this woman is still alive in AEW. And if there's any other women that we need to put APBs out for right now, y'all let me know. So
Thunder Rosa. What the hell she at?
Who?
Thunder Rosa.
Oh, good point. Yeah, where is she?
So it's a lot of APBs we got to put out for people. Like, Tony.
In that division? Yes. Absolutely.
Well, speaking of winning, we won. Big meaty men smacking meat. Samoa Joe versus Keith Lee for the ROH World Television Championship, excuse me. And fun fact, I realized that Samoa Joe is the longest reigning champion in ROH history, both under Tony Khan and without combined. He's the longest reigning World Heavyweight Champion and longest reigning television champion as of this week.
Boy. Man, this is going to slap.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't
Pun intended.
You, dog. This match is going to be bruh. Yeah, man. I don't know how to call this one, dog, but I think the streak going to come to an end.
We'll see. I feel like they're going to keep it on Joe. I just had it.
So?
Yeah. I don't know what they're doing with Keith Lee, man. I truly don't.
this could be that moment to finally wake something up because he ain't exactly won any gold. Well, at least since being with Swerve anyway.
Yeah.
This would be a moment to do it. I mean, if they do it right, but I can see what you mean because Joe is still killing it, dog. So I mean, would I be mad if he wins? Absolutely not. Especially after seeing my boy just spitting Jay-Z and dancing on a Wale Mania stage all day. I was just like, well, shoot. I always knew Joe was with us. I knew he was with the culture. You know what I'm saying? All day. All day. You feel me? So I'm rooting for Keith Lee, but if Samoa Joe wins it, I ain't mad at it, dog. Let's get it.
Next up, we have Jay White versus Mark Briscoe. He's back in action. So we all know Jay winning that because he got a world title match coming up at Full Gear, which is next week, actually.
Yeah.
On the 18th.
That's a weird scenario to put Mark Briscoe in, but I get it. I understand.
Next up, we have Swerve Strickland versus Penta El Zero Miedo. They basically reference Lucha Underground. So,
Yeah.
it's gonna be a thing. You already know Swerve gonna pull off the mask because I feel like that's every Penta match in AEW. They pull off the mask and then he wins dastardly. We're gonna hear from Tony Storm and Hikaru Shida before their match. They're gonna have a sit-down interview with Tony Schiavone. So many Tonys in this company.
Yes, that was hilarious watching Hikaru Shida just flip out and just freaking like.
She's like, stop this bullshit.
She's just over it. She's like, every time I get a win, you want to come over here and steal my shine, bro. What the heck, bro? Enough's enough. Like, that was hilarious. So, yeah.
And then we have Sting and Darby Allin versus the Outrunners. This is a squash match. Let's just I don't even know who these two are.
Heck? Who are these Rick Boog knockoffs? Oh my God. Stop. Just stop. Next slide. Oh God.
The main event, MJF defends the World Heavyweight Championship against Daniel Garcia.
Oh boy. That's this pose. Oh God.
You like to dance. You don't like to dance.
I wouldn't say I don't like to dance. It's just the fact they got to put the doggone pose in the picture. Like, why?
AEW this week, it looks intriguing on paper. Have you been a fan of like the direction they've been going on? They've been going within the past few months?
With certain individuals, yes. Here's the thing. I love what they're doing with MJF having these multiple storylines at once. Love that. I love what they're doing with Swerve. Can't wait to see him in the main title picture. I'm hoping he's the individual that takes the title from MJF at the right time, especially now with MJF being a babyface. You couldn't get any better than having Swerve being the dastardly heel that takes that title from him and becomes the first African American AEW champion. Because that's what I'm waiting for. I need it like now.
Right? Like if it was gonna be Keith Lee, it gotta be this man. It has to be this man.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, we need a black AEW champion today.
Like world champion. We ain't talking about no TNT champion, no television champion. World.
We need
heavyweight
to be in these history books.
Champion.
Like now. Okay. Y'all done been in this long enough now.
4 years.
4 years? Yeah. Long enough. We need a black person now in this title history. Okay. So just saying. But yeah, Tony Storm carrying the women's division with her pure comedy entertainment and character. Hikaru Shida is at the same time putting on banger matches. Can't not knock her for that. She's always been good at that. Just that women's division just still needs a lot of work, unfortunately. But like they're putting on good matches, but just no story for us to care. Jay White, love what him and Bullet Club Gold are about. Love what they do. Hopefully they literally get some gold. Because I ain't gonna lie. Homie, I ain't gonna lie. That title do look good around. Jay White carried that title real nicely. And if I wasn't rooting for Swerve to win this title right now, I'd be like, Jay White would be my next best bet. Real talk.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So that's AEW. I'm intrigued with what they're gonna do with the card this week. And hopefully it's a good show. Like hopefully it's because like AEW has been kind of with me sometimes. Like certain matches, like last week's show wasn't really my favorite, but it wasn't horrible, like some people say. So hopefully this week is a little bit better as we get closer and closer to Full Gear.
Yeah.
So
and stop this Ring of Honor stuff, okay? Stop it, okay? I wasn't a fan of it before, and I'm not a fan of it now. Stop bringing Ring of Honor titles on your AEW show, goddamn.
and especially if you're not plugging where they're mainly on, like you're barely plugging Honor Club.
Exactly.
It's like unless you're plugging people to watch Honor Club, what are you doing?
Yeah, it annoys me.
It's so many titles to keep up with to the point where I'm just like, because Athena should be in this main, like she's been killing it in ROH.
It hasn't been on a Dynamite or a Rampage or none of that, so I don't get it. That's why I'm like, why are you? Why? Get rid of it. Just saying.
Just saying. And last thing before we get to our interactive part thing, before we get up out of here, Pro Wrestling R, they have their anniversary show this coming Sunday, November 12th, 2023, at the Pine Grove Civic Association in Jersey, off of Jersey Avenue in Gloucester City, New Jersey. Fun time. I got a couple of buddies that are going to be on a show, like your Ruthless Lalas. You got Isaiah Wolf of Prolific. You got O'Shea up in that building. You got Adriana up in there. She's cool people on there as well. It's a fun time, which will basically be headlined by the inaugural a 7-way. I believe I forgot the name of it, but it's a 7-way. You got Rizza Clark, Salem, Adriana, Bam Bam, Ruthless Lala, Harleen Lopez, and Neva Chantel in a 7-way, as well as the main event, more than likely, is for the Pro Wrestling R World Heavyweight Championship. Isaiah Wolf, the main man, versus Tiberius Ashante. Sunday, November 12th. Make sure you guys check that out. Tickets are on sale now at prowrestlingr.ticketleap.com/RDF. I mean, it's RD3. That is prowrestlingr.ticketleap.com/RD3. Tickets are $20 for adults, and kids 5 to 12 is $10. Make sure you guys check that out. Pro Wrestling R anniversary show this coming Sunday, November 12th. You don't want to miss it. Beat them there. Don't meet them there. That's all I got to say. That's all it is, and that's all it's going to be. Now, before we get up out of here, we got a interactive segment that we're going to introduce with you guys. Basically, where I basically ask you guys a question, and we get it, and we basically read you guys' response on here, whether it's from Twitter or Instagram. It's basically where we have a dream. For this week, we got a dream war games scenario, basically dream teams for Survivor Series War Games. With Survivor Series War Games coming back, we want to know your dream War Games match. The way that I got this set up is basically the way you have it set up, you have to use 2 WWE superstars. NXT is included, 2 AEW, 1 TNA Impact versus the same thing, 2 WWE, 2 AEW, 1 TNA Impact. You said you have some submissions from Instagram, because I didn't see any on Twitter.
Yeah. Now, unfortunately, I didn't get that portion of it where it had to be like cross promotional.
No, it's fine. Give me the dream. Like, if it's a dream, give me the dream.
So this is from our boy Rick, aka That's Mr. Playboy to You, on Instagram, and he said Hurt Biz versus the Bloodline would have been nice.
True. I mean, they got a form. I don't know what they officially calling Bobby's group now. That could be if they add a 4th person.
He means OG
Hurt Business.
He probably mean OG Hurt Business.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like that would have been dope. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah, because I refuse to call them that.
They're not Hurt Business. This is not Hurt Business.
I refuse to call that Hurt Business. That is not.
That is not Hurt Business. That is definitely not Hurt Business. Yeah. I guess before, and then my submission, I basically came up with my own thing because I ain't see anything. But for me, I have 2 for the men and the women. I have Solo Sikoa and Jimmy Uso representing WWE. Bishop Khan and Toa Leona of Mogul Embassy from AEW, basically the tag team. The Gates of Agony? The Gates of Agony from AEW. Moose from TNA, and then versus LA Knight and AJ Styles from WWE. The Young Bucks. I had to appease to the Young Buck fans out there, and Joe Hendry from TNA. And for the women, I had Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria, because that mutual respect teacher-student type gimmick or whatever they was trying to do, Hikaru Shida, and I kind of struggle between Jamie Hayter or returning Jamie Hayter or Chris Statlander representing AEW, and then Trinity, the current Impact Women's World Champion, or Knockouts World Champion, excuse me, in TNA versus Rhea Ripley and Xia Li from WWE, Athena and Toni Storm, and Killer Kelly. Those are my random pick. Like I just random. I'm like, I can see them kind of doing that. We had to do like a cross promotion type Forbidden Door gimmick with that. But yeah, we'll definitely do more of these going forward. So it can be a fun, interactive time for the people in the chat if they ever want to rock it with us in the chat, or for the people who rock with us on Twitter and Instagram. It's a nice little something that we might do going forward. And it's not going to be occasional. It's going to be probably like sporadic, probably closer to pay-per-views or when something big pops off. Before we get up out of here, that's enough wrestling we got talk for you. Before we get up out of here, we got the song of the week, where both hosts, yours truly, as well as Hi-Lite, pick a song of the week, and it will be posted on social media. More than likely earlier this week, because I posted it late because I completely forgot, but it will be posted on social media. I want you go first. Like, what song do you have this week? Obviously, you're gonna send it to me, but what song you got this week?
So I was going through a classic hip hop playlist, and it was just kind of like all time hip hop songs from, like, combination of 90s, 2000s, all that. So my song of the week, as I was going through that playlist, and it was just kind of random, I heard a song and was like, oh yeah, he is one of my favorite rappers. I'm going to go with Show Goes On, Lupe Fiasco, for my song.
Oh, okay. I gotta listen to that. I haven't listened to that. I think I heard it in passing, but I never listened to it.
Yeah.
I definitely gotta check that out. For my song of the week, is basically Friends. Nate Dogg, Warren G, Snoop Dogg. Friends. Okay. Like it's a nice mellow song. Like I've been trying to relax, chill, not overthink too much. And that's a nice little mellow song. And then you got Snoop doing his thing, and you got Warren G, Nate Dogg. It's a fun little, nice little mellow song. I've been on pretty much a lot of classic songs this week, so I'm definitely was feeling that one. And hopefully you guys feeling our choices for song of the week, and hopefully you guys are feeling this episode of the Gresh Unleashed podcast. That is basically our show. Where can they follow you real quick on social media for those of you who know around here? Be quick with it because we got to get up out of here.
Oh, for sure. For the most part, personally, as you can see right here on the graphic below, all things Hi-Lite Life, HILITE Life. Or if you like the podcast game from the Life's a Botch podcast, follow all things Life's a Botch podcast and OTS Media Co. All things.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Make sure you guys follow Life's a Botch crew on Twitter for those, because it's a different ad. But also make sure you guys follow the podcast itself at Gresh Unleashed. Make sure you guys follow yours truly at It's Gresh on Twitter, but Josh Gresham RG everywhere else. And make sure you guys keep it locked for Thursday, where we have Jay Bougie for the Talking Is segment. The Talking Is a bonus episode this Thursday morning. Make sure you guys peep that, and make sure you guys also stay safe out here, as we gotta go. We're running out of time. We really gotta go. But hopefully you guys enjoyed today's episode, and make sure you guys keep it locked. Subscribe wherever you want to subscribe. www.gressunleashed.com is your central hub. You can follow all social medias, all the stuff that you got. That is your central hub. Or go to solo.to/Gresh. And with that being said, you guys stay safe out here in these streets, and remember to always eat, sleep, flex, and repeat. We out. Y'all be breezy.